Hi guys, I'm just about to head out for work. Sorry about my voice if it's a bit low, it's just in the morning. But anyway, after work I'm gonna go to Ullatyll and buy some yarn. That's because I have finally decided on what yarn brand and what color I want to use for my cardigan number 9. And I haven't told you guys this yet, but my sister and I and our boyfriends are actually going to Copenhagen next week because we're going there by train, and I think it takes like more than 6 hours. That will be the perfect opportunity for me to, just sit there, listen to a podcast or something and knit. Okay, see you in a bit. Hi guys. So I did it. I just came home from the yarn store and here they are. There are 10 of the Filcolana Peruvian and 7 of the Filcolana Alba. So yeah, 17 skeins in total. Both of them are in the color 147, which is, I believe, the hunter green color. And I'm actually really excited to cast this on. I'm gonna cast on this before I leave to Copenhagen because I just prefer to have it started before I leave somewhere far away. I hope I have made a wise choice. I'm about to start on my cardigan number 9, and I actually made a gauge swatch a couple of days ago. I had some leftover Alva yarn in this brownish color that I used for my Stockholm slipover v-neck, and I just bought 1 skein of the Peruvian yarn to see if this yarn combination would work for this cardigan, and the gauge swatch seems to be pretty much there, so that's great. I used the recommended needle size as well, 5 millimeters. However, you might have already seen it, but it's a bit holey. So I don't think this fabric is as dense as the recommended yarn combination. And for me, that's fine because I reduced the price of the yarn to almost a half. I won't make another gauge swatch. I will dive right into casting on. Hi guys, so today my sister and her friend are visiting Uppsala, and we're gonna go to a knitting brunch, sort of, and they are already there at the restaurant, but I haven't. I'm running a bit late, but it seems to be a lot of people there, so interesting. The knitting brunch is arranged by Ullatyll and takes place the first Saturday every month at a local cafe in central Uppsala. This was my first time joining, and though I wasn't a big fan of the food, I still had a nice knitting session with my sister and her friend. After our brunch, we went straight to Ullatyll, of course, to look at some yarn. We also had a fika and continued on our knitting. Hi guys, we're going to Copenhagen, right? One of the big reasons why I want to go to Copenhagen, other than being a beautiful city, is that I also want to visit the yarn stores there and buy yarn. And for me, it's better to have a pattern in mind when I buy yarn, because I don't like to buy yarn just to buy yarn, So ever since I knew we were going to Copenhagen, I've been thinking about which pattern I want to knit, and it has been quite challenging actually, because I want to buy yarn, okay? Therefore I need to have a pattern. I managed to pick out a few patterns that I have been thinking about, and I thought it would be fun to just look at them and see what I'm thinking. So I'm just gonna share my screen here. Okay, yeah, this is my Copenhagen bundle on Ravelry, and as you can see, I've saved. These are 12 patterns. Some of them I have already knitted, like the Stockholm slipover, the weekend hat, and the top sole. I have included them here because I know that I want to knit them again, but in a different color. I also thought that I could knit this Stockholm slipover with this blue, dark blue yarn. And then sweater number 14. My sister has knitted this one, and I think it looks really great on her. So I want to make one in
as I have written here, light gray, dark gray, or in a chocolate color. Not sure why I put the Esther sweater here, because I'm not ready for that one yet. I guess I will remove it here. Yeah. Okay, for the next one, this Lindgren sweater, I know for sure that I want to buy yarn for. My sister and I were gonna go to the Knitting for Olive store, and we're gonna buy their yarn to this pattern. So I'm gonna knit it in the traditional. I want to make it in the Pippi colors. Then we have the topsole, like I mentioned in the last vlog. I want to knit it again, but I'm not sure. In the last vlog I talked about using this purple yarn for it, but now I'm not too sure. I also have this light gray yarn as well, which could be really cute and could be suitable for colder weather as well. And last but not least, I have the grow hat saved here, and that's because I really like the pattern, and it's also a small amount of yarn to buy. I might just look for some kind of brownish grayish color for that hat. So these are the things that I have in mind for when I look for yarn in Copenhagen. I also want to look for project bags and some kind of interesting notions that I haven't seen or might need. Yeah, we'll see what I will bring back.
So this is how far I've gotten. I started this project 2 days ago, so I've come pretty far. I think this is really fast because I'm using 5mm needles, and also I think it's really fun to knit this one, so I'm quite eager to see how it will turn out. So our trip down to Copenhagen was really nice, and I felt like it wasn't too long. I also managed to make a nice progress on my cardigan number 9. We arrived quite late in the day, so for the first day we didn't do that much, but we managed to go to Self-Made, which is basically like a craft store. I later on found out that there is actually a Self-Made store in Stockholm. Hi guys, so we're at the hotel and my sister and I were gonna go to a lot of yarn stores today. It's gonna be so fun. The first yarn store of the day was Brunch, and my sister and I really liked this store because it felt large and very open. The shop has a large variety of yarn and yarn brands, which was quite overwhelming to be honest. I was quite interested in this top, which was knitted in Nanagato's silky yarn, but in the end I didn't get anything. The second yarn store of the day was Cardigan, Cardigan, Copenhagen. The store was very cozy and had that neighborhood shop feeling. We also had a small chat with the owners, or so I believe they were, and they were very friendly and kind. The third yarn store that we went to was Knitting for Olive. The store was as interesting as I have seen previously online. My sister and I already knew what we wanted to buy here, but it was very nice and fun to actually be able to try on the Lindgren sweater before we purchased the yarn for this pattern. I was also contemplating on my base color for a while before I made my final choice. The next day we visited our fourth yarn store, which was Ullstedet. I quite liked this store because it felt open and the person who was in the cashier was very nice to talk to. One thing that you might notice when you go through these stores is that they often carry the same yarn brands, but they also sell different or more unique brands respectively in each store. I also randomly entered a yarn store for machine knitting. It was quite interesting to go in there and to see all of the yarn cones. The owner also had a few samples, which was very nice to look at. I'm very glad that there exists a physical store for machine knitting, since I imagine it isn't as common. So on our last day we went to Sommerfuglen, and I guess this store is one of the more central shops in Copenhagen. I was a big fan of the store, but mostly because their notions rather than the yarn, which was kinda unexpected. They also had a section for embroidery. I thought I would share with you guys what I bought in Copenhagen. So I didn't buy that much, which is fortunate because it's quite expensive in Denmark. I really wanted to buy something unique that was maybe hand-dyed, but I just couldn't get my head into that mindset. So for me, it was much easier to just go with brands that I known from before or with single colored options. First off, I got a whole sweater quantity of the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I'm gonna knit the Lindgren sweater by Knitting for Olive in the so-called PP colors that I talked about before. I have already used this one to make a swatch. I got 7 skeins of the pearl gray color, and then only 1 skein of the pomegranate. Oh my god, I forgot how to pronounce this word. Anyway, and then I got 1 skein of the navy blue. I was really contemplating on which type of white or gray I wanted, but in the end I decided on this pearl gray, so I think it was a good choice. And I will sort of match with my sister as well, because she also got a sweater quantity of the heavy merino. For notions, I also got this knitting needle gauge at the Knitting for Olive store. I find that the other one that I have is quite big and sometimes in the way. And my second purchase was 4 skeins of the Gepard My Fine Wool. I only have 3 skeins here because I'm using one for a current project, and this is the color, it says 778, I guess it's like a navy blue. I'm gonna use this to knit my second Stockholm slip-over v-neck. And I got a small sample of a wool wash that I have been wanting to try out. So it's the grapefruit scent. I haven't used it yet, but I'm waiting for that project when I'm ready to use it. I almost forgot to mention I got the Gepard yarn and the wool wash from Ulstedt. So that was basically everything that I got. I would love to go back there and visit all of the other yarn stores that I didn't visit, and also revisit some of the yarn stores. I don't think this will be my last time in Copenhagen, which I'm really happy for. So this is how far I've gotten. I finished the front panel on the right side, and now I'm gonna pick up stitches here. And oh, sorry, the neighbors are working on something. But I'm gonna pick up stitches on the left side and then just basically duplicate this, but on this side. Hi guys, so this is how far I've gotten, and I paused knitting the body for now because I wanted to start working on the sleeve. I think I worked on this right arm for the whole day today, and I'm almost done with it. I just need to finish the last 1 or 2 decreases. I guess that's all for today. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna go to bed now. Here we are, first sleeve done, and the length is pretty much there. I think it will be a bit longer after blocking, but it's looking good. I like it. Hello. So today we're going to Röda Ladan, which is the red barn in English. It is 15 minutes from our place, so, by car, And apparently they have this huge selection of yarn, which I haven't heard before. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they have there and how it looks like. I know I went to Copenhagen just last week, but yeah, I mean, I can still look at yarn, right? So here we are in the middle of nowhere. Here's this, the Red Barn. Röda was indeed a big yarn store, and I was very happy to see that they sold mostly Järbo and Svarta Fåret, which are two Swedish yarn brands. Sometimes it's more common to sell Norwegian or Danish brands, at least in Stockholm or Uppsala. One thing you should notice is that it can be a bit tricky to get here to this shop without a car, but there are buses. I just finished the second sleeve, but I don't know if you can see this because it's very vague. But this is the second sleeve and it's a bit wider than the first sleeve. The fabric is slightly denser here compared to this one. Yeah, you barely notice it on camera, and I think with blocking it will probably even out, but I'm not really satisfied by this, so I'm gonna pick this up and then redo the sleeve a bit tighter. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but I think it's gonna be relatively fast, so yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
A few moments later.
Okay, here's a quick update. I reknitted the cuff of the left sleeve and now it looks more similar to the right sleeve. So both sleeves are done, and just have a few more centimeters for the body before I knit the ribbing hem, and then I will need to do the neckline and also button band. So I'm soon finished. Hi, welcome to the future. It's editing Jessie here. So I'm popping in to say that I'm ending this vlog here. So if you want to see my finished cardigan number 9, you just have to wait to the next vlog. Or if you want to have a quicker update, you can always check my Ravelry, or even better, you can always check my Instagram, where you can find live updates and my finished projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!